Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Galen Snyder Show. I'm Vince Reed. Our show brought to you by ARIA Health, your neighbors in Lower Bucks County, and by Peruzzi Buick and GMC on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. Well, first off, I want to congratulate Galen Snyder on the fact that his team was able to take undefeated through the league, the Suburban One League National Conference Championship. And I think a little bit, Galen, it's sort of an old-fashioned game. Remind me of the 60s, 70s, and 80s when they used to play one another in Chamonix and Pennsbury. And this had to be a big win for you. It was a really big game.
Yeah, it was. Both teams played well, and it was like one of those old games from the more familiar with the 80s. Actually, it reminded me of the game our senior year in Chamonix, 14-7. We were undefeated in the league and we were undefeated overall, and actually it goes back to 1985. That's the last time that we were undefeated with a chance. My record to be 87 year with Troy Vincent in the Bucks chance. So some of the kids are proud of it.
Take us through that a little bit. Here you are, the team to beat, and of course the Chamonix can gain a share of the championship. You go into that game, you know it's arch rivals. You know that both of them are going to be up for the ball game like they weren't for any other game, because this is a big one at the end of the regular season of play, and the two, of course, are the ones that are known in this area to battle it out all the time. How was that leading up to that ball game for your kids to get ready for that?
Well, of course, there were bigger matters at hand with the hurricanes.
Right.
So both teams missed a good amount of school and some practices along the way. So I think both teams didn't actually start practicing until Wednesday. I know our really only day of contact was Thursday. But given that, a lot of our kids, I know seniors as well, didn't have power to the game today. But given all those facts, I thought it was a pretty well-played game, pretty clean game. Mistakes on the other side.
I know one of the things we talked about, of course, that tough schedule you played at the beginning of the year with the Easton, Frankfurt, and the Downingtown East ball clubs. We talked about how that would improve this team just playing that kind of competition. And as it turned out, I guess you could say that hindsight was very good in the fact that you wanted to play that kind of tough competition throughout the course of the non-conference year. Because when you got to the conference play, the kids were really ready at that point. They had played some of the toughest teams they're going to play all season.
Well, yeah, exactly. You got challenged right out of right in the start of the season, and I think it taught us to, how to play hard in tight situations that we were in the other day, and we were able to come through.
A couple of things that certainly have happened during the course of the season so far has been the fact that, number one, you had to put together a line. You only had your center coming back as far as that goes, and had to build it from there. You were able to do that. The defense in the first ball game maybe didn't come up to par of what you expected, but as they've gone along, the defense has come along extremely strong. Matter of fact, your defense between your linebackers and your secondary people, it turned out that they tagged 10 interceptions, 4 run back for touchdowns. I thought those were two areas that really significantly improved all year.
I agree with you 100%. We always felt like defensively we had a good defense last year. We had a good defense this year as well. We did get off to a slow start, and part of that was who we played as well. Right. But as things went along, the defensive team the defense was outstanding against the Chamonix, holding them to a shutout, which was what a game.
And you take a look at the offensive backfield that you have, undoubtedly, I think in this area, with the array of backs you have back there and the depth that you have, probably the best all-around backfield in the area when you consider the fact that you can go deep. And some of these guys that haven't had much time to play, even your guys who come in from second stringers are playing well, who are all going to be back next year. But of course, with Sean Pepper, you got Daquan Mack, and you got Tommy Hose, and you got Chuck Snowway, along with Breon Clark, who came in that Downingtown East ball game. These guys have really solidified that backfield and made it really tough on the opposition.
Well, obviously, the 3 running backs and the quarterback run the ball gives you 4 backs that the defense has to guard against. And of course, with Breon doing such a good job at QB, we have also threats from the ball. I know last year in the playoffs, Bruce Campbell did a nice job of giving us that dimension to our offense and enabling us to win playoff games. I think Breon's got that over this year as well.
I think one of the things is certainly you got to take your hats off to the Chamonix defense, which I thought did a great job on the part of stopping Sean Pepper from getting to the outside. That was their concern, is the fact that they wanted to stop him before he was able to get just one man on the corner, beat that man, and have a big run. And of course, they were able to do the job there, and then they did a pretty good job as well on Daquan Mack. But I thought the job they did probably on Sean Pepper was maybe the best that anybody did this year.
Well, they did do an excellent job, and they really gear up for us. They, I think, even more than we consider them a rival, they really focus on us long periods of time during the season. And it showed they did a great job. We had a couple opportunities down there inside the 20, and we didn't capitalize on them. Some people open, and then a couple times we just didn't, they made a nice play sliding through our blockers. That certainly went good.
Tom from Mooresville says that Aria Health's emergency department saved his life. Recently, while playing golf, Tom experienced cardiac arrest and the ambulance took him to Aria Health Bucks County campus, where Dr. Emmerich and his team of doctors and nurses took fast action and literally brought Tom back to life. Dr. Emmerich visited Tom frequently, answered all his questions, even gave him his phone number. Led by Dr. Harry Emmerich, the emergency department at Aria Health Bucks County provides 24/7 care in a leading-edge environment. To learn more about Tom's story at Aria Health Bucks County, visit ariahealth.org/Tom. That's ariahealth.org/Tom.
Hi, this is Larry at Peruzzi Buick GMC. You'll hit a home run every weekend at Peruzzi Buick GMC Service Department. Every Saturday and Sunday, Peruzzi Buick GMC is offering a standard oil and filter change for just $19.95. And remember, Peruzzi Buick GMC is open every Sunday from 8 to 5. Peruzzi Buick GMC is the home of the $34.95 Pennsylvania State and Emissions Inspection every day of the week. No matter where you purchase your car or truck, you can get it serviced 7 days a week at Peruzzi Buick GMC. And remember, we're open Sundays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Even though you don't pass that much and everybody knows you're not going to throw that many times, the times that you have thrown with Breon Clark in there, including this ball game with just over 30 seconds left to play in the first half against the Chamonix, that was the one that kind of folded as well as you went over the middle and over the top there to get it from Breon Clark into the hands of Sean Pepper for that TD who was wide open. But I was alluding to the fact that you haven't thrown it much, but when it is, it's been significant.
Well, I mean, most teams in Chamonix included have to do certain things, overplay certain things to stop them. And we have to be able to take advantage of that instance.
All right, we're going to talk about this upcoming ball game, of course, which is just moments away. But we got Bayard Rustin from Westchester, number 11 seed, taking on the number 6 seed here in the Pennsbury Falcons. Our show being brought to you by Aria Health, your neighbors in Lower Bucks County, and by Peruzzi Buick and GMC on Business Route 1 in Langmore. We're going to talk a little bit about this Bayard Rustin Ball Club for a moment here, Coach. And you look at them; they're in the playoffs here. They're from the Chestmont League American Conference. They and Unionville were the ones that were battling out for the league title in their division. And of course, you come in with a championship here in the Suburban One National Conference. What have you seen from them on film, or if you've had an opportunity to watch them at all in person this year, and probably mostly on film, that you can tell us about?
Well, they're one of the Westchester schools. Westchester Rustin, they're a league team like us. So there's a lot of similarities. From the offensive standpoint, it's pretty easy for both teams to prepare for each other, considering the whole team knows each other's offense already. They run the ball well. They have a pretty good play action pass game, and they're a scrappy team, physical team. Their styles are very similar to ours.
When you look at it, Adam Burke is one of the guys that, of course, they count upon, and he's one that's had 21 touchdowns so far this year. And the youngster, a sophomore, Terry Loper, has done well, extremely well, the last 3 ball games. He scored 5 touchdowns in the the last 3 weeks of play. They'll count on those two quite a bit as far as that goes for running the football. What have you seen from them?
Well, Loper is their speed back, and Burke is their best all-around back as far as dance and catch the ball and block. Yeah, both quality players.
And looking at it as a wing team type ball club, they're another one that's not going to throw many passes for the most part.
No, but the quarterback does needs a little bit more there. They throw the wagger pass, and other passes like they do. He's accurate. And they have 4 receivers who do a nice job catching the ball.
What have you seen from their secondary and also their line defensively?
They're active. They get the ball secondary-wise. There's some good skill kids. There's some kids who do plays that receivers and secondary guys. So they're a tough defense. They did a nice job at Westchester Anderson, 13 points. They did a pretty good job on shooting goals on the team. So against some of the tougher offenses they face, they did pretty well.
Yeah, even in their 2 losses to these teams, they wind up being really close when it comes to the scores of the ball game. So they were in every game this year. Of course, have themselves a good record too, coming in at 8-2 for them into this ball game. But tell us now how your ball club is coming through, how they fared through that Chamonix game. Everybody in good health.
Yeah, we seem to be good. We've been a little banged up the last couple of weeks, even though we're the champion. We seem to be getting up. Guys are in good spirits, and we're looking forward to this second season.
Come down to it here. You're in the playoffs here with this team. And of course, this is something that we're looking at all season long. Of course, number one, you wanted to win the league title. You got that. You wanted to get into the good spot here in the PIAA District 1 Part A playoffs. You got a 6 seed out there, so you're going to get at least 1 home game out of that as well. But certainly when you look at it right now, your kids seem to be playing, especially when I looked at that ball game, the last game we played, maybe coming to the top at the right time as far as that goes this time of the season.
Well, I hope so. We'll find out Friday night, but I think that the kids are still motivated very strongly. It's a big goal of ours to win the league, and it's especially the passion that we want. But now we're moving on to the second season as we talked to them about. And now we have new goals. They include winning Friday night and keeping the players going.
You've had so many guys that helped lead you this year on offense. Of course, you've got Sean Pepper, who's a big figure there. He plays on D. And Tommy Hose has had just an outstanding season for you, too, at that linebacker position. He, again, in that last ball game against the Redskins, was all over the place. He's undoubtedly your leader on defense.
He is, and Tommy played exceptionally well, as did our other linebacker, Charlie Fisher, and the entire defense with Johnson. They played a great game.
When you take a look at this ball club and how they've matured and come together, anything surprising to you from the beginning of the season, from when you had them in camp compared to how they've come about here at this point?
Well, it's funny. There's so many things that have to come together to we've done so far this year. Replace our entire line, as we were saying. Some changes in the defensive staff, coaching staff that is, and it's just making sure all of our guys are here and practicing hard every day. And, there's a lot that goes into having a good football team, so I'm pleased with where we are.
And where you are right now, you're in the playoffs with that first round. And also the situation, too, I think that has helped you is the fact that maybe in a couple of ball games where you had the big lead and got a chance to use other kids in there, getting that second string in there, it looked to be like, it helped as well to be able to have these guys get some action this year, get an opportunity to get ready for next year. A lot of them, of course, they won't be playing much this season, but they come through nicely as backups.
Yeah, there's a number of kids who got some good experience, will be important parts of the team next year, and some of them are real young, so for them to get the opportunity to get out there and play and in their big roles is important for us looking ahead. Obviously, we're not looking that far ahead right now, but you're right, this team
course, you have 30 seniors on this ball club this year, and of course, those seniors help you immensely as well.
Well, yeah, we had a great senior class. Some very good talent. I think guys like mentioned a few already, but Sean Pepper and Nate Knockback and some Keith Stewart and some of the others. So, very good senior class. And next year, our next place.
Well, right now, we're this year getting set for a big ball game, the opening round of the Pennsylvania District 1 Quad A playoffs, and Pennsbury will have the home team advantage here in this ball game, as they'll be in Fairless Hills at Falcon Field for our game tonight, and be taking on the Westchester Bayard Ruston Ball Club, which comes in as a good seed as well, as they're number 11, and also a team that is 8-2, and not only that, coming in with a strong company from Chestmont League American Division, and they're looking sharp. Of course, they have to take on right now the champions of the Suburban 1 National Conference in the Pennsbury Falcons. Coach, good luck in this one. It should be a good ball game.
Thanks, Vince.
Our Galen Snyder Show is brought to you by Aria Health, your neighbors in Lower Bucks County, and by Peruzzi, Buick, and GMC, located on Business Route 1 in Langhorne. For Galen Snyder, I'm Vince.